Ladies and gentlemen, back for another episode. Thank you for coming back. If this is your first time, welcome. If this is your first time, then you don't know who this guy is. If you're a return guest, you already know. Alan Wayne, the Prodigy, baby. One of my favorites. I love his music. Juneteenth, he's got a new album dropping, 10,000 Hours. Juneteenth is June 19th for all of you that don't know. What can I say? I mean, he's just one of my favorite people. We always have a great time chopping it up. I got the exclusive. I get to brag, a little brag real quick. I got the exclusive listen to his album first before anyone else. It's great. I'm excited for you guys to hear it. And just listen to this episode. Alan Wayne has always just got just wise words. He's just a deep, thoughtful, introspective, deep thinker. I love the way his mind works. And it's more about it's not just his art that I like about him. It's just the way he thinks. Just you guys will understand after listening to this episode if you haven't listened to any other ones that I've had with him on. But here we go again. Alan Wayne the Prodigy. Alan Wayne Prodigy on Instagram. AlanWaynesWorld.com is his website where you can get his music, buy his merch. I have a great coffee mug that I love that I got from there. It was like $20. Support the artist and get a great mug. That's it. Enjoy the episode, guys. Boom, shalak, boom.
Welcome to the Inno Talk podcast. We'll no topic is off limits. Now here's your host, my daddy, and Roy the Soul. Thank you for coming to the Inno Talk podcast. Boom, shalak, boom.
The 3, 2, 1. Alan Wayne. You like my mug?
Yeah, man. Namaste and shit.
Namaste and shit.
Yeah.
I got the Alan Wayne, the Prodigy's mug in my hand that I got off of AlanWaynesWorld.com, where you can go there now and stream his music, buy his merch.
Yes, sir.
Welcome back.
I know, man. Back like I never left, man. My favorite place to be is in your presence, my man. No homo.
Oh, that's sweet. Let me turn your mic up slightly. Am I going the right way? Oh, I'm going the wrong. It's going the wrong way on the mic. Yeah, it's a pleasure to be in your presence as well, as always. And you just let me get a sneak peek at that album.
Yes, sir. 10,000 Hours. It's official. Coming in June. When are you releasing this episode? Do you have any idea? Ooh, I put you on the spot on your own show, bro.
Well, I'm probably see. It normally would be in 2 weeks, but it might be in 3 because I might not get tomorrow's episode out because I'm going to Vegas tonight, and I'm a procrastinator, dude.
Oh no, it's all good. No, that's cool. So
it's
let
not
me know
cool.
what I can
So
say.
it'll be like maybe 3 weeks from now.
That's fine. So then I feel good that I was a G in my word, and I can still talk a little bit more freely here then about the project too. So 10,000 Hours coming Juneteenth. I officially said it first here. So even if you hear it before that, I said it here first. You know what I'm saying, in the solar system and shit. And I said I would. So my word is my bond. You know what I mean? There's a lot of interviews coming up, Ryan. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Really?
So people had opportunity to step on you to get that information first. It might even seem like that in the eye of the public opinion who might watch that shit, but you got it first.
When are these going up? Maybe I'll get mine out first.
I don't know. It depends on how they work. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? So I don't really know. I know you have more of a personal relationship with you than I do with any of the other people that I would be doing something like this with. So, you know, I'm not even gonna check their temperature on it. I'm just gonna find out. You know what I mean? But yeah, you heard it. You're the only person, but outside the ears of the people who are lucky enough to be there during the recording, who have heard it. You know what I'm saying, from start to finish. You know, all the way through.
I was sitting in your car, 20 minutes ago, listening to a particular song that you're playing for me, and I was just thinking, what has my life become? Like, how lucky am I? Like, I have one of my favorite artists that's turned into a friend of mine, and then he comes and I get to listen to his whole album first. I'm like, what has my life become? Like, this is so, I don't know, like, I don't know. I'm in a different stage in my life right now, and it's fun to realize how important life is and how important fun is in life and how fun life can be.
Absolutely, man. And I always like to say, and I love when I can find shit that validates the crazy shit that I say. But I always say shit like energy gets matches itself. That same sentiment that you had, that's the reason you get to listen to it before anybody else. Because when I was just basically back from the dead, only making music because that's just what I do and put it out, you were the first person like, yo, I hadn't done any type of podcast interviews. Rewind it back. I'm way off the microphone, high as a motherfucker because, you know what I'm saying? I might not have stage fright. I don't get stage fright, but I didn't know what the fuck I was walking into or nothing. And I was just like, man, somebody wants to spread this, you know what I mean? Same difference, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I told you I got you from the...
I know. That's funny. Yeah, it's still crazy to me because I was like, man, I can't believe this guy that I actually likes actually going to come and do my show. And boom, 3 years later, or whatever it's been, 2 albums later, 3 albums later.
Yeah, well, you know what I'm saying? 3 albums and counting, you know.
Very excited. What was the one I was laughing at?
The song.
Yeah, what song? What's that called? I'm not gonna be able to remember all the songs.
Oh no, you talking about
your new? It's your new one just now.
You talking about Make Plans?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That shit is funny. This is gonna have no reference to people listening, so I'll make it kind of quick and short. But once they hear it, if they remember this part of the conversation, it's like it gives me a vibe of R. Kelly's "Trapped in a Closet."
Man, huh? Yeah, it's
you know what I mean? Like I'm just like the whole time I was picturing like, dude, I want to direct like the music video to this because I can see this doing some fun stuff with that.
Yeah, man, let's do it, man. We were supposed to direct the circus, but then the circus actually happened. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just like I predicted it would, but who knew my prediction would hit like that? So the storm came and we just did it. But you were kind of gonna direct that one. I still believe in your visions, man. So hey, this is one of those projects where nothing needs to be left on the floor. Like, why not shoot everything is my attitude with it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So you got ideas, let's have fun, you know what I'm saying? You know the models, bro. Everybody likes that.
I mean, I know a few people that would pose as models.
Right. I know what you mean.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Some Instagram thoughts.
Yeah, man. But
I mean, isn't that the definition of a model this day and age? Is an IG thought?
Well, those are the ones that are getting the gigs. But I will tell you.
Well, why wouldn't they be? Get your money, thoughty thoughts.
No, I ain't mad at nobody's hustle. But I tell you, and I've been around, and I'm almost I'm starting to wonder is, now we're not talking about, of course, you got New York City, and of course, you got LA. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about more bringing down to earth, like underground scenes. The modeling scene around Kansas City, and I noticed in Omaha, they actually have some pros who actually get looked at by bigwigs now, and that stands out because I spend a lot of time up in the Pacific North, and no disrespect to there's beautiful women out there, but there's no there's model. Not. I don't know a modeling agency.
They don't have enough sun out there to be pretty
in Tacoma. You know what I'm saying? But the modeling agencies here, I don't want to shout out any particular names because then I'm gonna leave some other names on the floor, but I'll do this then. Shout out to Stephanie. Stephanie. What's her last name?
I ain't give her a shout out. I couldn't even remember.
No. But Lady Stephanie, she manages a lot of these models who are really, really, really good and get booked for shit outside of the city and things like that. You know what I'm saying? But damn, I butchered that, man. That the cupcake is hitting, you know what I mean, on top of the rainbow cake that we smoked.
Shout
in
out
the car.
To Thrax Pastries. I just gave Alan Wayne a blueberry or some kind of muffin that was, cooked by her. Is it hitting that quick? That's
maybe,
what I'm talking about.
I'm gonna have to clean up my mess here because I don't do that. And this looks like I'm doing this to be politically correct. No, I just don't want my own. That too.
What are you doing? Are you going? Oh, you're getting the name of her?
I have to.
Okay. Well, that's very noble of you, ladies and gentlemen. Those who are just listening.
Her agency is Bella Rose.
Bella Rose Agency.
Agency. I know that, but I want to say the name properly now because I've butchered her last name.
Yeah. Anyways, to those who are just listening, he is going through his phone to get the Stephanie girl's full name and stuff because I didn't mean to laugh at you, Alan Wayne.
No, this is my own ADHD in action. Stephanie Romero Correll. I was actually damn close. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think,
Pull that mic a little closer to you.
rewind the tape. I think I was pretty close. But shouts to Stephanie Correll. I'm gonna say her whole name since I looked it up. Bella Rose Agency. That modeling agency. She does things. You know what I'm saying? So if I really need somebody to act, I know who I can call. And there's similar connections in Omaha. But if I'm up in the Northwest or anywhere else, you know, we're gonna probably scroll IG. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Me
shout
too.
out to all the models, professional.
I need
And,
to do some of that
Instagram.
scrolling myself. Little Instagram scrolling.
Man, I don't do very much scrolling. I should do more too. Honestly, as much as I'm online, I'm not online as much as I am. I'm more on the posting side than the scrolling side, and that's why I only see certain people's shit. I see your shit all the time. Because,
You're welcome.
You know, thank you. You know.
Just fucking kidding.
No, you're
My
not.
shit's hit or miss.
Nah, man. For your entertainment purposes, you just gotta watch D-Lo the Doctor's page, man. He has no filters.
I do follow D-Lo the Doctor. If you
Man.
want to see a,
Man.
what is the best way to describe his style? It's his own style.
Man.
You know, eccentric. If you want to see an eccentric producer and the way he dresses here in the Midwest in Kansas City, D-Lo the Doctor is he's an interesting follow.
Yes, and his emotions are usually on display.
Yeah,
And I'll say it because
Yeah.
he says it. You know what I'm saying?
he is an emotional
Yeah.
fella.
And I used to, because you know I roll tight with D-Lo, and you know
Right.
sometimes how they look at you is how they look at all you. Sometimes I used to be like, D-Lo, man, you got to tone it down just because. But you know, who am I? Like, man, like fuck it, it's working. You know what I'm saying? Every time I look up, he's got a bigger following on YouTube and other shit. So go D-Lo, go. You know what I'm saying?
Go D-Lo, and D-Lo now he doesn't have to be all butthurt that you and I didn't mention his name
Oh,
in an
yeah.
interview.
There you go. Yeah.
I've seen him out here. Oh man, people who I produce for don't even mention me on podcasts and stuff. I'm like, all right, I got you.
Emotional. You know what I'm saying?
That's all right. He's a young cat.
Yeah, but he's a fucking fashion icon, man.
He's a fashion icon. That is true. I would love to wear some of his outfits.
I can't pull it off, man.
I couldn't either.
Yeah.
I would still. He can't pull them off either, but he
Man,
does.
but he pulls it off anyway. That's how he pulls it off. Man.
Yes. I'm very excited for your album to come out.
Yeah, man, me and you both, bro. Out of nowhere.
It definitely has a different feel because you know I don't know, man. You've matured a lot just in the past couple years. Musically, I mean, it just looks like you've been. I don't know. There's been multiple steps in just the past couple years that I've paid attention to you.
Yeah, man.
Keeps getting more serious and more serious. I mean, you've always taken it very serious, but you keep leveling up. You know what I mean? You keep just leveling up. I don't know how else to put it.
Yeah, it seems like the more I dedicate myself to it, it dedicates itself to me. You know what I'm saying? For not to try to sound all deep and shit like that, but seriously, it's just like a risk and reward. You know, I've sacrificed pretty much everything. You know what I'm saying? And it looks good, and at times it is good in comparison, musically in comparison. But you know, as far as day to day, you know, I'd let you wear the shoes for a day, and I guarantee you that I'd be shocked if you didn't want your shoes back. Not you, one. You know what I'm saying? Your own shoes back, right?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So, yeah, but it's a calling, man, and I can't seem to do anything else halfway right. And at least I'm doing this halfway right. But we're sitting here, you know what I mean?
Yeah. What do you think? I don't know. You're such a deep, interesting thinker when it comes to, like, I don't know, life, mortality, God, namaste, your whole vibe. Where did that, I don't know. What do you got going on? Like, what do you think humans are? Like, what do you think we are, and why do we have, like, these different frequencies? Like, you have, like, this frequency that's tuned into, you know, a higher power. Like, I don't know what your definition of God is, but, you know, I don't know that you even know it.
Yeah. I'm not sure if I know it, but I like to think that a lot of people's idea of it.
I mean, you
It-
talk
it's
about
almost a comfort
astro
zone.
planes and
Yeah, you go through certain things, and then things just are different. You know what I'm saying? Like, just certain life situations will change your perspective on things, and once you've had a perspective change, then things just change along with the change of perspective. To say that, I mean, that almost sounds like a political answer. I didn't answer anything, but
But I get it because was some of that change after you had to go sober?
no, I see, and I didn't. I didn't have to go sober. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people have to go sober to, avoid jail time. I mean, or to
I'm just meant like
or-
you felt like you had to, or else it was gonna.
no. See, the thing about it is, I had already decided a long time ago that I realized that it was Russian roulette with a lot of bullets. Anytime that I took a sip, and I gladly took those sips. You know what I'm saying? So I was beyond that point, and it got there literally. So it was after a certain incident in a hospital, and I woke up, and uh, when I went home, I just the the my inner dialogue was hitting different. I'll put
Okay.
it like that. So I almost went because I felt like, okay, this is almost safer than an insane asylum. I'm losing my mind or something. You know what I'm saying? But it was weird. It was just the most. I never felt so sure about something. When I made that decision, that's when I didn't know I didn't give a shit. I never claimed to be suicidal at any point, because if I wanted it like that, it would have been nothing. You know what I'm saying? And plus, I don't want to put fluff on it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But it was during that same time, even though shit was getting weird, that was the moment I knew that I wasn't gonna die over this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it wasn't because like fuck that, I ain't going out like that. It was just something new, better. I just all of a sudden knew better than a lot of shit that I was doing. You know what I'm saying?
It just clicked like a was it
yeah,
like a
something
new
like-
voice just all of a sudden came in and
for lack of a better, it kind of crept in. Like I might have tried to deny it just like I did before. I didn't wake up from that incident and like, you know what, I'm never drinking again or no shit like that. It wasn't like that.
was it like an ego death or something?
Yeah, it was the ego. It was something pushing the ego out the way. Like, all right, we've had enough of this. You know what I'm saying? We've drug you around long enough. We'll just take over now. So if you don't want to let go, we'll push you out the way. Type of deal. You know what I mean? And the less I fight it, the more and more upward it goes. But my bad. What was the initial question?
I don't know. What do you think we are as humans? Like, because you do have you just the way you just saying that you have this new.
Well, I'll put it like this.
Your new voice came in, like I don't know, and you
You
rap
can-
about like the Matrix and going and astral plane traveling and just if
Alright.
when your songs just now is like if this is my dream, whether it's a dream or a nightmare, it's
Yeah.
mine. Like
Right. Well, I'm not. I'm far from a religious person, right? So
Right.
I don't want to go quoting the religions, but I know that Christianity, along with a lot of them, a common theme is going home, going back home, going back. You don't go back somewhere for the first time. You know what I'm saying? It's
Okay.
returning to somewhere. So if we're going home, that means that we came from somewhere. So whatever we are, I don't believe it's these flesh and bone things that we walk around confusing ourselves with our reflections all the time.
damn.
We're something that's much bigger than that. That's come here for something to go back to somewhere for something. So what I do know is this. I don't know what that something is or what any of this means, but you can have any opinion about religion, any opinion about God, but one thing that is undeniable about life experience is that experience portion of it. This is an experience. So that being said, if that's all that I know that I don't want to limit my experience based on anything that has anything to do with something outside of myself, whatever that self might be. Because how dare me risk my one experience over somebody else's one experience. You know what I'm saying? And usually when somebody halts theirs, it's because it's an inconvenience to somebody else's. You know what I mean? Anything that we don't do, think about it. For negative, for good or bad. Most people who go to their job that they hate,
That's me.
they hate that motherfucker.
I do. I hate it.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
hate my fucking job, Alan
But
Wayne.
they go there because if they stop going, then
Then my kids can't eat.
the kids are gonna hate them.
And then the lawyers are going to come after me. And then I'm going to be like, I'm back on child.
All
You know, I
right.
can't pay my child support.
All right, and why do you think that?
I just think I have to do everything I can to be the best dad that I can.
And something tells you in order for you to do that, you have to be able to provide.
Mm-hmm.
And something in you believes that if you don't have that job, then nothing. You don't have anything to provide with.
Yeah,
Right?
it's just safety.
Right.
It's just safety. I hate it. It's safety.
Right.
It is what it is.
There's
But it's safe.
But there's some.
I have kids. I have to play it safe.
Right.
I played it loose and wild before I had kids, man. I was,
Yeah.
And now I'm paying for it. Now I have to play safe because I played it loose and wild earlier.
Because those are the rules that you set. This is just my opinion.
No, that's why I brought it up. I like it.
It's not even my opinion. This is an opinion. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Lay it on me.
Sure, all those things. But what if you were to quit that job? I'm not telling you to quit your job. I'm just playing what if.
If my boss is listening right now, I quit.
So what if you quit your job?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And whatever you got, I don't know what you got. It might be enough to cover this month's bills, might not be. But what if it just was? All right.
Mm-hmm.
And what if you just had this month covered and you didn't know what you were going to do next month? You're not going back to that job.
Right.
Then what if next month one of the people that you have from a podcast calls you like, yo, we got this opportunity. We need somebody to come host this thing for this thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's paying 2 G's. And you're the first person that I thought of.
Mm-hmm.
Are you available? Now, had you had that job, you wouldn't have been available. But just because you happen to have quit that job, you do happen to have been available.
Yeah.
Then you happen to go there. And that covers your next couple of months. And let's say this leads to that, leads to that, leads to that. What if? You never put that what if in your head. You didn't get that chance. That was never a train of thought in your head. Your train of thought is, if I quit my job, my kids are going to suffer. So
probably more like my ex-wife.
Everything.
She ain't getting that check no
that's
more.
That's perfect. Even more fear. You might be a little bit afraid of your kids, but you're damn sure afraid of your ex-wife. You know what I'm saying? Like, as far as on paper goes, you know what I mean? So all these fear-based things come up first. And I got to tell you, right now, the odds are if you quit your job, since those are the real thoughts that you have in your head, that's probably the reality that you're going to produce, because everything is mind. You know what I mean? Your subconscious has no sense of humor. So if you think that the boogeyman's outside, you honestly believe that, it's going to give you evidence of the boogeyman.
It's going to get me with COVID.
Right.
Yeah.
So the gag is, if one was to believe that they're going to quit their job and that they're
I don't know what would happen.
Right.
I don't even think about that. I just know that I'm here because it's safe.
Right. Well, I'll put it like this. There's people who think that if I quit my job, then I'm going to lose it all.
Mm-hmm.
There's people who honestly believe just as strongly, I'm going to quit my job today, and it's going to be the best thing that ever happened to me.
I know.
And just one day I decided to give those people's way of thinking a try. And it'll be dismissive for me to say I just thought that one day, and that's what I led to. A lot of things led me to that realization, and the more and more I apply that, the more and more I keep getting that call that next month. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Just dead ass serious, and that's one of the more important. I got a whole lot to say about this subject, if I'm completely honest with you. But to be completely honest with you, I'm it's like, imagine somebody wanting to explain to you, I got dreadlocks, I'm gonna use braids. Imagine somebody wants to describe to you, oh man, next week this girl's gonna braid my hair. It's gonna be this way, that way, and it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be like some shit you never seen before, right? And they got about this much hair, they can barely grab it and even braid it. You know what I'm saying? Or you ever seen that guy who's growing his hair out and he's, I can get my hair braided today, and he shouldn't have got his hair braided yet because that shit's barely in there. You got rubber bands up here. One of them really don't even count as a braid and shit like that. What the motherfucker just would have waited. His hair would have been cleaner, and that guy usually ends up cutting his shit off. You know what I'm saying? Because he done got embarrassed in the in-between phase.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to let my hair grow all the way. You know what I mean? And then I'll be able to tell you. But I will say this. Everything that I've ever said, even on this show, I've said it before, and I've come back with a receipt for it on the after end. You know what I mean?
You're not lying.
So that's a big question. And I believe that I don't have the answer to that question, but I have an answer that'll resonate with a lot of people more than the answers that they've been getting from their mama and them. You know what I mean? So, but the God that everybody's searching for is searching for them too, and it might be right there in the mirror looking back at you. I guess it's not those eyes or that skin you're looking at. You know what I mean? You just gotta let go of that a little bit. It's a lot more behind that, for real. I like to tell people all the time, we walk around on this earth, but if we step off this earth, we can't walk around. I mean, why is that? Why? Why does everything on earth that must go up come down? There's a law of gravity that we just accept.
Right.
You know, it is what it is. We don't have to know why it is. Okay, so we're going to move about according to those laws of nature and science. There's other kooky laws and things that work just the same, but we don't have nicknames for. You know, I don't think that there's a lot of things that we think are coincidental that just can't be coincidental. You know, you think about that. You think about that person and what the fuck? How in the hell did I see that? Like, yes, and then everybody got that story.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, and I thought about that. Yeah, that happened to me. And yeah, that happened to me. Well, if we had a little thing called gravity from when that happened, then we might not be so wowed by it. You know what I mean? But we ain't got nothing to call it, and we don't.
A supernatural gravity.
Right. Well, we got. Why isn't gravity itself something that we consider supernatural? That's some weird shit. Listen, why don't we think dreams?
Science, because we can explain it. We don't find science.
All right, then a dream. Then
you know, dreams are interesting. Dreams are. What are dreams? Are they just? Yeah, I love talking about dreams.
Yeah, imagine you wouldn't know what the fuck was going on if we have just never dreamt. For some reason, we walk around. We lay down for a few hours. It would make sense. Damn, we move around. You got to rejuvenate your machine. Got to keep
down
it
like
going.
A computer.
And if nobody had ever had a dream, and you went to bed one night, and you wouldn't have a word for a dream, but you had that experience. First of all, if you had the wherewithal to gather yourself the next morning without losing your mind a little bit, you know what I'm saying, you would be like, what the fuck? And if you went to go try to describe that to somebody else,
they'd lock you up.
But we all have them. We don't know why or how, but and we try to hook up machines and give a definition to it. And if enough people agree with that definition, we'll call it that. You know, even though the days before that we weren't saying that, you know what I mean? But we can come up with a definition for it maybe, but it's still something that is super.
They're getting close to they're getting close with some technology in your brain to kind of get an idea of what your dreams are. They're thinking fairly, not terribly far down the road that they'll be able to maybe get like a very crude image of what your dreams are. But right now it's probably more theoretical than actual at the moment, but I do think they're kind of on that path. How crazy would that be? Could you imagine if you could see? I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I've been saying, my listeners are probably sick of me hearing it, or maybe they love it. Maybe they love it. About this whole simulation theory, like this is all just a fucking computer that we're trapped in.
That's funny.
When you start thinking about different things like that, it can make sense. Like
me and my cameraman Matt were talking about that, and then I was at home talking about that the day before yesterday. That shit's crazy, coincidence or not, I don't know, but yeah, what's the black guy who's always talking about the simulation theory? What's his name? I can't think of it. Some kind of scientist dude. He's cool.
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Maybe Let's call him that.
Is he kind of portly, mustache, old? Yeah.
Yeah, him. Yeah.
Star Talk,
Right.
Cosmos. Yeah.
So, so he makes a lot.
He says it doesn't. He doesn't believe in it.
Well, then I'm not talking about that guy.
But he's talked about it a lot. He's gone back and forth.
Okay.
But his most recent belief is that it hasn't happened yet because we haven't created it yet. And if it's a simulation, we would have created a simulation by now. It's complicated, but
Yeah, like we would already mimic what we are.
Well, but if you look at where we're going, we're very close.
I've been recreating I stopped playing video games like in sometime like immediately after high school, probably during my high school year. But all the time up there, I created myself several times. And I know this little thing called The Sims that people play all the time, where they create whole real things. And I just come to find out if your sim doesn't get to go to sleep when it's time to go to sleep, that your sim will just pass out. Just like you. You know what I'm saying? So what do you mean we haven't already recreated that? You know what I mean?
Right.
We haven't created it with consciousness, or have we? If we are, you know, what if we? That's an interesting thing. What if we are? If this was a simulation, it's just go way far out there. Then is this?
I don't think it's going that far out there.
Yeah.
I think it's not impossible. I
Right.
think it's very possible.
You and I know that. Me and you can push pause on this and have a whole different kind of conversation, because even though I might not have my hair braided yet, I firmly believe all the bullshit that I say. But just for the practical listener,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Let's just go into the world where if we were simulated, would that be like super cruel?
Super cruel?
Yeah.
I don't think it's cruel at all. I think it could be a beautiful life lesson. I think once you're done with this simulation, you wake up. You just I don't know what happens after this simulation, but if it is a computer, I think maybe one idea is you could just wake up and all of a sudden you're sitting in a therapist's chair and you're like 22, 25. You're 25 and you wake up and there's a therapist there. And he's like, "Welcome back, Ryan. How was your trip?" And I'd be like, "What the fuck? What? And I just had this whole life, and then all of a sudden I wake up and I'm talking to some therapist, and I calm down. And you just what? And then I would be freaking out, but I'm waking up. I don't know.
No. See, now that I think that would be subjective to each simulatee, if you would, because that.
But maybe that's what the program.
But yeah,
is.
but that's, you know, as much as that, you know, I think that's let's just say that's not the truth, because most people say that's not true. All right, saying that that's not the truth, right? That way you describe that could very well be one of the most metaphorical ways of describing the human experience and the spirituality. You know what I'm saying? Wherever we wake up at, if you put these on that, you know what I mean, you almost got what a lot of philosophers say is life itself anyway. So you might be way more brilliant than you even know, is what I'm saying.
I don't know. Just if you think about it, it could go that way because.
But see, when I posed the question, I think I was being a little more. I was coming from a different angle. Let's rewind to the Sims a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You play that video game. I don't play it. So one's playing that game. If I understand, just and correct me if I'm wrong, audience. I'll talk to them like they're here. You know, they have relationships, marriages, kids, and shit like that. But when you turn that game off, it's just game over. As far as we know, I don't think that created player Sim still goes on with his invisible life when your hands are off the sticks. What I'm saying is, once this game is over, whoever's controlling it just goes on about his thing and creates something different. Then is that a cruel thing? Because then all this emotion that we experience is for naught, because we're not even really here in the first place. You see what I mean?
If it just ends and we don't know it, well then it just ends. It's a happy ending for everybody. No memory, no nothing, just boom, lights out, gone.
Yeah, but if that's the case, then you know what I mean, then there's no in your simulation.
Everybody
dope.
wakes up.
It's dope in yours because you can wake up on the therapist chair and, you know, decompress and figure it all out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to somebody who's you know what I'm saying, went through something tragic and then comes out of that, well, life lesson, then maybe, okay, let me simulate again. I'm gonna try to get this right, or just keep on going about their merry way or whatever the fuck. Versus that person who goes through that tragic thing, then it's just game over for somebody else's. You know, then if that was the case, I guess then that's to be like, then why are we playing? You know what I mean?
We
Such
didn't.
a
No, nobody asked to play this game,
Right. Or did we?
or did we?
That's the thing.
That is the thing.
I firmly believe that if I'm here for something that I was in on it, you know, it's just I like to think that I get reminded of that when I try to do something otherwise. You know what I'm saying? That's the only time I'm getting back into this is when I've said fuck it. And you know, so that's why I say things like that, you know what I mean? Because
I know. I wish. I don't know. Like I don't. Life is interesting at times. It's. I don't know. I go in these little roller coasters. Not like these crazy, depressed, emotional roller coasters. I just mean just life is a roller. I think we all have peaks and valleys in these weird travels that we have through this time of life. We all have these life experiences, like whether it be like having kids or getting divorced or losing somebody we love one way or another. And, life can be very tragic.
hell yeah.
And it can really have, I don't know, it can really affect you in just profound different ways. And yeah, I don't know, it's just weird trying to navigate everything. And then when you start adding other people into the mix, it's like, what are we doing here? Like, ultimately, don't we all want to be happy and have fun? But then I realize some people just don't want that. People don't want to just be happy and just have fun. They feel like they need it. I don't know.
Yeah, man. I've just been trying my best to detach from things. You know what I'm saying? From
Emotionally?
That sounds self-serving, but in a way, yes. I mean,
There's so much emotion you can have and give away.
I just think we look outside of ourselves for every little piece of validation, in good and bad. Even we look, people who are raising children, how receptive they are to us, how they are in public. We look at that and we judge ourselves. What have we done right, wrong, or different? We go to work, and if our boss doesn't acknowledge us, we look around everybody else to make sure that everybody's not getting acknowledged, or else why the fuck is they're not just acknowledging me? You know what I'm saying? And if nobody's getting acknowledged, then we can all collectively say, why aren't they acknowledging us? So you're still leaning on something. You know what I mean? A lot of people get into marriages because that person completes them. That person can constantly reminds them that they're on their best, or reminds them that they're not, so they know when they're straightening out. The person gives them a perfect measuring stick of self, but I guess that person came fully equipped with their own stick of measurements that have nothing to do with yours.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times, just in the song and dance of life, we've lost ourselves completely because we use everybody else's measuring stick.
Right, they're in the metric system.
You know what I'm saying? So I had to, and I get damn near everything I do, I'm addicted to, which is a gift and a curse. That's why that's why I can dedicate so much time to this, and that's also why I can pretty much have full custody of a child that I have no biological tie to. You know what I'm saying? But that's the beauty of it. There's a billion devils for each of those. You know what I'm saying? The gag about it is you have to know that you got to let go of all of that. I have to let go of that thing that tells me that I have to make sure that little guy is even okay. Because once I insert that thing that I'm going to measure that, then what am I doing it for? Is that really about that little guy's spirit, or is it about me feeling obligated to, so I better? He's going to be all right because he came here from somewhere else too. Now, if he was landed on my doorstep for me to be a guide or something like that, and I feel inclined to do so, I'm not going to deny that inclination by any means. But one day, sadly enough, he's gonna be old enough to make his own decisions. And if one day, for some reason, because of any life turn, if he makes decisions to say, anything, I can't say all I did for you and this, and that, because that's not what it was about. I don't have that fear, you know what I'm saying? But that's the way that I have to approach that too, because the way you do one thing is the way you do some things, And I found the gag about it is this: the more that I apply those things, the more I have left evidence of shit to worry about. The more I realize that he's gonna be just fine, the more just fine he is. You know what I mean? And it's just one of those things to validate the always mind thing. We can go in circles with that all day. But
you're gonna make me quit my job.
Man, I'm not gonna make you
No, I
quit
know.
your job.
I wouldn't put that on you.
But I trust me, I have no worries about you. None. And I say that because I have no worry in myself.
Right.
And I like I said, I wouldn't say that on every podcast. I put it like that because I don't have that relation. I just don't know, you know what I'm saying? But I know you well enough to know the reason why me and you met in the first place. Mm-hmm. And it had nothing to do with flesh and bone connections. It just has to do with me and you on the same.
We're
in the same trajectory.
We do have a wavelength that we seem to be riding on.
So, I can. I see things happen for you, right? And I can almost selfishly get excited for myself even. Really, what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And vice versa, you know what I mean? Like when sometimes, like I'll tell you, you get emotional sometimes too. You haven't been very emotional lately, you know what I'm saying? I think I know a reason behind that too. But there's been times where I see myself be emotional, be emotional, and it happened to me on times where I might have had a quote unquote win, and I'm like, he'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? It's right around the corner because this just happened with me. You know what I'm saying? And lo and behold, a couple of weeks later, you know what I'm saying? I'm in Vegas with him. You know what I mean? Like, that didn't literally happen, but it's happened. You know what I mean? So, yeah, you can, once you realize, and this is another thing, once you realize that everything that you see and interact with is your actual reflection of yourself, that's a game changer too. It'll make you bite your tongue mid-sentence before you judge somebody. Because it'll be like a slap in your face. And it'll make you autocorrect instantly, to make you judge. And it's one of those things like sometimes I have to walk out of the room when people get to gossiping about just random shit because, first of all, the cackling voices are annoying itself. But if you happen to catch any of those things that are annoying the shit out of you, it's going to be like picking apart your own skin, kind of, and you got to go. And again, I've been better off from that too. I've been around the so little bullshit, like.
How important is that?
Man, it just frees up so much time for other things. I can't, since it's like that, and it's not just like that with people, it's put me in a box almost, so I don't hang out much. You know what I mean? Just because I don't have much
to keep
time.
Away from dramas, put you in a box.
Yeah, because I don't force resonance, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to. I get booked, so if I'm out, I'm on task, and I enjoy what I do. So I honestly, I'm not saying I say that sincerely. I can't wait. I love all my gigs. They all end up with a good story to tell. But other than that, I'm not that person who just wants to call up a group of friends so we can hang out. You know what I mean? I don't need that necessarily. I'm fine. I appreciate my alone time because it's few and far between. So, but I can't just call the guys and hang out because I'm probably going to have to graciously, excuse myself just because I just can't. I have things to do. You know what I'm saying? So since that's become the norm, even with people, I can't just sit and consciously just let the TV run. It does something to me mentally. Like it gets under my skin. So since that's not, I'm not gonna just either I'm gonna sit around doing something that's productive towards the greater goal, or something that has something to do with growing this inner me, which is ultimately still feeding the greater goal. you know, and I've learned so much about myself. I've read more shit by accident than I've ever read before. You know what I mean?
What do you mean? Read what books or?
Yeah, like, you know, I was one of these guys who as open-minded as I am, a lot of times you realize, like, that it puts you to, how open-minded you want to be. Listen, you'll get more out of the written book because it's just something about the cognitiveness between your eye and the written word.
Oh yeah, you retain so much more information when you actually read it.
That's all good. But since I know that I don't want to listen to the audio book, now that's a box. So time constraint alone, if I'm moving around, you end up finding that author or that narrator who sticks to you just as good as your own written one. And now I had to let go of that thought process. And look, the thing about it was this. When I was thinking about it like that, I swear, every time I would try, I can't get it. This sucks. You know, I can't do it. I just want to read it myself. But as soon as I started listening to this particular person who was breaking down some of the books I had already read, then he would have the full book versions of some of that, or basically his breakdowns were just as good as the book that I read. I'm like, you know what? In hindsight, if I would have listened to that first, I started recommending people to this person when they would ask me what I was reading. I'm like, if you don't have time, you can listen to this dude because he gives you the book. So I'm like, if that's the case, then some of these audio books might not be that bad. And since I opened up that now, all of a sudden I'm finding great audio reads. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And just even this conversation, audio read doesn't come up when I have time to watch a bunch of rap battles or just something that might seem, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And don't get me wrong, I want to watch the Godzilla King Kong with my kid and shit. You know what I mean? And I got a couple of days off in between shit. I will find myself finding what's out on Netflix that I haven't watched since, you know, and then the power comes back on. I'll find myself, oh shit, and then feeling guilty about that shit, and then I'll catch up on it 2 years later. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, it's just that balance. And then, you know, they say that you don't want to, you know, be all work and no play. But for me right now, it's a balancing act and a priority thing. You know what I'm saying? If I believe I know how these things work, then time versus when once time was against me, now time can be on my side.
What,
you see what I'm saying?
What's the books you recommend or the narrator? What is it?
Well, this whole this new album is like basically backed and narrated almost by Alan Watts.
That's who it was. I knew it.
Practical mystic philosopher who's he's the only person I would trade my inner voice for his. You know what I'm saying? Because he basically
He's got that old timey voice. That old.
I just feel like he's the one who. I follow a lot of like Hermetic teachings, which follow a lot of the Hindu religions follow a lot of Hermetic principles as well. A lot of those Hindu type of religions have gurus and shit.
Mm-hmm.
He's my imaginary guru. I just feel like he's led me to so much. I can find myself in a stuck spot and find something that he said, and it just takes me right back to myself. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like by now, there's not a written or spoken word that he's done that I haven't heard. You know?
Wow.
So yeah. So him, Neville Goddard, somebody else. If you're trying to find yourself, he'll lead you right to you. Real quick, especially Neville is somebody. If you're fucking, I'm gonna say this. If you're if Christianity is like making sense and not making no sense. If it's quenching your thirst, but it tastes like it's dirty ice, he'll make you be like, there it goes, and you'll read your Bible probably by yourself going forward, but from a whole different light. That's just for somebody who wants to, because some of the shit that I do get into is kind of like way over the fence, but you know, I'll only say that to say anybody, Christian, any of the if your religion will pop up on a ABCDE question answer, all right, Neville Goddard is somebody who will make a lot of sense. I mean, will he's a good answer to that question.
Okay, interesting.
If somebody who wants to, where the extreme left, what we're talking about, meets the extreme right, like basically, how can I apply this to my life? I want to get out of this. I want to make money. I want to do this and do that. Napoleon Hill, anything Napoleon Hill. He's famous for Think and Grow Rich.
Okay, I've heard of that one.
Read Think and Grow Rich is the one audio book that I would request. I would suggest you get. It's just as valuable as the book. You can find it. It's in public domain. You really can't go wrong with it. Joseph Rodriguez is the dude who he has the full book, and any of his. Follow Joseph Rodriguez online on YouTube, and you're welcome. That's for people who wants where the mystical shit meets the practical things. He's that guy. But as far as who wrote the book on that is Napoleon Hill. You gotta listen to that, and you also gotta read Outwitting the Devil. Outwitting the Devil is also a Napoleon Hill book, but it's you would love that book.
Okay.
I've read it like 4 times.
Okay.
It's on the audio. That'll be the first book. Me and you can come on here and have a book discussion. We'll change the game with that shit, bro.
Okay.
For real. And then
I like audiobooks.
hell yeah, man. I'm open. I love them. I once was.
I just finished one, so I'm looking for a new one.
What was your last one?
It was a science fiction. What was the name of it? Outland. It was called Outland by this guy named Dennis E. Taylor. He's a very fun science fiction writer. This one was about these college kids made a portal that can go to other parallel universes of Earth. But it's like still this time, so it's like 2021. It's still that year, 2021 on that Earth, and they found this Earth. This Earth now, Yellowstone is about to blow up. And they happen to find this portal where they can go into this parallel Earth that is still like the Pleistocene era. So there's like saber-tooths, dire wolves, short-faced bears, woolly mammoths, all that stuff here in North America. And so they're trying to get as many people as they can. Yellowstone just exploded, so they're trying to get as many people as they can from regular Earth to New Earth
with the saber-tooth faces and shit.
Yep, with everything, and so yeah, and it's a really fun. It was fun.
See I want to see that on Netflix in the series.
Yeah,
Yeah. I just finished the autobiography of a yogi.
Okay.
Dope ass book. It's long, but I got through it, and I'm gonna listen to it one more time when I find time. It's good. But yeah, Joseph Rodriguez is the man, dog.
Okay.
I hope I'm saying his name right. Yeah, that's all right.
I was wanting to ask you when I was listening to one of your songs in there, and you always have talking about different chicks in some of your songs. Mm-hmm. Are these real stories, real names, or do you protect the names of the innocent? Like,
there's never,
or is it all just
no? None of the names will ever be. One time I was real young, and I actually referenced the name, and even then on some underground shit, I had the sense enough to say, "Dude, go and edit that."
Okay.
And I thought it made it hard, you know what I'm saying, to have it something that was so underground and still had to be edited. That wasn't like some put on murder kill type of shit, so it still had a spin, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that particular person, I don't even think they would have minded, to be honest with you. It just was, I realized after the fact that it was corny, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But everything I do, I'm an artist, so everything is a blend of, for lack of a better term, fantasy and reality.
Okay.
But all realities usually all fantasy stems in reality. So does
her baby's mama really play for the Mavericks?
Oh yeah, no, she does. See that doesn't. See that's just intricate wordplay. But does that story come from
Right, maybe he was
from
on a CBA team or local college.
yeah all those things? There's somebody who will look at me and be like, the dude's crazy for that one. Somebody will get it. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
nobody on South Bend got to worry about. You know what I'm saying?
Your names
So,
are safe. Your ladies
right.
are safe. Don't worry about it.
Mhm.
Because you had one song out there today that I thought was kind of going almost cocktails level, but I think it was just maybe one or two verses.
There's some shit on this album. Well, I mean, like when you the nasty shit's nasty. You know what I'm saying? The rated X shit's not for your kids, but then you know what I mean. I've always done it like that.
Right.
Like
Oh yeah.
tap tip drill right in the middle of a just right in the middle of a pretty tasteful album everybody can listen to. Just something that'll make you like be real awkward if your mom's in the room with you. That's what I like to do.
Hey, listen, some of your music is so safe. I play it around my kids. No, I probably shouldn't, but
Yeah, that's crazy. It feels good. Everything is a vibe. You know what I'm saying? It feels like, yeah, let me play this until you dissect the word for word for word for word. And like, ooh, shit, oh, fuck no. You know what I'm saying? But it's like that. That's why, that's what's going to work. That's why it's going to be something. That's why this is not going to be underground for long. You know what I'm saying? And I'll say that, but the boldest, utmost.
We need somebody. We need somebody out of
Kansas.
Kansas City to break out.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
We got a few making moves.
Hell yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not ever gonna say, yeah, it's gonna be me, because I can't say that anymore. If I was the only person that was this good, and I still think I'm the best, but that's very, very subjective, and I know that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, we got some incredible talent.
Yeah, and we got people who do shit that might be more even trend worthy. If you know what I'm saying, I'll give credit where credit's due. There's a lot of people who got a great chance, and and I'm gonna go as far as to say we got people who I believe that once they get in, it'll be a comfortable, good entry for everybody. And I'm not. I just seen an episode you just recently said. That's not me saying that people haven't done that. I think maybe people maybe we even would have liked to have done that, but to do that would have been to have to go against the grain of what they actually naturally do. Maybe I'm just trying to say when I come in, it's gonna be a floodgate. I'm underground right now, and every time you see me, no matter where I'm at, I got on a whole bunch of Kansas City shit. All it takes is one person to say, who is that? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, that's them over there. That's them over there. You know what I mean? I make sure that there's people who follow me. There's music out right now in the city who, if I was to put on a polygraph test, how many YGKC songs do you know front to back? I could probably rap off a few of the hooks, the same hooks that maybe you could. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know it. I don't know his catalog. I don't have time like that.
Right.
I just personally don't. But if I see anything of his online, just because of the way that he's operating, the way that he's moving, I'm going to share that with popcorn bags.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's the way it's fucking supposed to be done. And I don't do that to, and I just so happen to know that he has another artist under that same energy, LaRon the Monster, that I was doing the same thing with. And at the time that I was doing that, I did not know that they had any connections to each other. But I wasn't surprised. Because it's just how the way, look, man, I respect people's moves, people's energy, and people are looking at me. That's the thing, and I'm aware of that. So I'm going to do that off the flip because that's the way that it's really supposed to be done. I'm not even going to say supposed to be done. But if it's going to work the way people want it to work, that's the way that it's going to work. It's not even so much of that, let's all band together and do that. Yeah, that's the result of what happens. At the end of the day, you look up and everybody's banded together when it's just natural. We don't have to force it. What I wish people would do is to quit pointing out
what they're not doing.
Yeah, ain't nobody showing no love. And that's I don't want to be the one to come out and me saying don't say that's just as bad as the other person saying it. What I'm saying is that I'm going to do my part to change the narrative. And I do see that narrative is changing. And I'm going to do my best effort to keep pushing that other one that we are actually working together way more. You know what I mean? This project is something I didn't record. Now, one piece of this album in Kansas City. you think that I was not gonna make sure C-Dub, who been on all my other shit, not gonna be on this too in the biggest, most best fashion to make it count? You know
That
what
gives
I'm saying?
that gives me anxiety for your last two albums. Gave me anxiety just hoping he was on there.
Yeah, man. You know,
Because when you guys come together, it's special.
Yeah, man. I think I always think he gives me the best. I always think that. But I think he's gave me his best with this last one that he did on this one here. He's got it's been on the first demonstration and the second demonstration. Both times he had my favorite part of the album.
Yeah.
You know, and on this time,
What parts specifically?
he provides what I do in a whole project instantly when we work together.
Mm-hmm.
I put it like this. Like I said, I got a whole album full of shit, right? That feels at first like you can play it for your friends and family.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you look a little closer, oh shit, and then it's going to be that one black eye tap tip drill. Like, oh, that's real fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Should have came with a warning sign or some shit like that. Well, insert C-Dub on any song and I instantly have that same effect in that song. Like, Don't Cry, Celebrate. You got this song that's not necessarily telling a story, but is almost telling a story. It feels like a story, like this hustle, this grind. We got to get it. Like, no matter what, we're going to try to do this the right way. But, you know, whatever. His come on. I ain't trying to how my mom expected. I shoot niggas. That's my only message. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like, pow. And then,
I love it.
yeah, you know, it's perfect. And he you know, it's art, and I don't give a fuck what nobody says. You know what I'm saying? He knows exactly what he does. And he did the same thing. His verse, on Most Gangsters did the same thing. I can't think of it right off the flip right now, but it did the same thing. You know what I'm saying? And this one,
Never mind the guy behind me. That's just my shooter.
yeah, you know,
Fucked a bitch twice now. I'm acting like I never knew her.
man. And then he jumped into a whole nother lane on this new one. You know,
Yeah.
and yeah, people
Yep.
gonna be surprised. I'm like, what the fuck? You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Hey, yeah.
Yeah, for real.
Uh-huh.
But still stayed to himself. He still had that. He still was that.
It's
right
still
off the-
C-Dub,
Hell
but it
yeah.
was something different there.
Yeah, this
It
that,
almost had a little.
it's that C.
It almost had like a little bit of a Memphis feel to it. You
To
know,
me,
like,
I was just like, you know, I move, but you know, I'm a nobody moves like Dub does. You know
Nope.
what I'm saying? And now he's on a different tier. You know, and he's doing this 365 move. That's dope. But you know, if he's
insane.
doing that,
It's insane.
it's crazy. That's gonna go, like I said, and to go back to episode 1. I said he's like a one man, no limit.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's basically under that same umbrella. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying I see the whole thing. Anyway,
So putting Kansas City forward.
yeah, he's right now. I think he gave me his. People are saying like he might turn the corner and be mainstream here in a second. He might have gave us a mainstream taste on there, you know what I'm saying? And it's still C-Dub, though,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, I feel like I got something, you know what I mean? So,
It's fire. I can't wait
hell
for people
yeah.
to hear that one.
hell yeah.
As far as putting Kansas City forward and working just for that goal, I noticed only the one. I guess you had a couple female features on there, but do you do a whole lot of? It doesn't seem like you do a ton of have features on or do
Well,
feature work for other people.
I've been doing more.
Because I love when local people get together and do songs together. That's one of my favorite things.
I just did a dope feature with some guys up on Monday for Sick Team, God Gnosis and Cal 10 Grand. They have that one voice movement going on, and that was dope. There's a guy Overs who I got a session coming up with quick. He's super dope, and I got something coming up soon. Me and Dub been talking. You know, he stays work. I know I got verse coming with something for him whenever he sends that. You know, and a young guy Bumpy, who I'm calling in Thursday to do a verse for, and a few other emails that I gotta check for some local Kansas City features. I'm steady doing features for people out of state, like, you know, from my Tacoma, Washington, even there's Oakland and some LA fans, who I just sent things off. I'm super glad to start doing some more things around here. Kansas City, I finally got a Kansas City foot. They really starting to fuck with it. My show at the Roxy the last time, it was packed.
Nice.
I couldn't believe it. So, but as far as my own projects go, gotta understand this. It's hard for me to, I'd almost have to say, okay, let's do a project where we're going to sit here and we're going to make the focus. This song, we're going to do 5 songs with 5 features. I don't almost have to premeditate it, and I don't make premeditated music, but that goes back to that boxed in conversation. Just because I have it doesn't mean I can't.
Mm-hmm.
But in order for me to do something that's going to be more feature heavy, that's what it's going to have to be. Music is getting shorter as it goes anyway. We went from an era that had common, 3/16s and 2 8-bar hooks, but possibly a bridge, to now you got a long song if you got more than 2 verses. And my 2-verse songs, I'm still doing something extra because I got so much shit to say. I do a whole bunch of shit. So for me to make room, if songs were still longer formatted, it would still be hard for me. You listen to most of my songs, a lot of them, there's about this much of a lead in before some shit starts happening.
Right.
And then some shit happening all the way through into the end because I have to it's too much going on up here and I'm trying to maximize the most of it.
Okay.
So I'm kind of Kobe Bryant out there.
Okay.
A little of a ball hog.
I got you.
So when I pass the ball, I got to make sure it counts. I'm going to pass the ball and pass it to C-Dub. You know what I'm saying? Like, or it means something.
I got you.
And not this, and that does not, that's why, like, when most of these features that come around, and I'm not out here, I'm not going to put all my business out here, but I'm not doing something that's going to have me incarcerated. You know what I mean? I'm not gigging. I don't have a regular paycheck coming. I'm eating off of my music, thank God them. You know what I'm saying? And still, like, unless it's one of those situations where it's been like nah, man, take this. I have not been charging anybody at home for anything. And that's literally taken right off of my plate. And, I compensate. I try not to, and I still, it would be different. The people who know. But if we're just putting, weight on the scale, my future is heavy as shit. But right now, the money that you could spend on me, they don't want to spend a bunch on that because they can go get somebody right now that already has that. And if I'm that person's manager, and they don't know me, you got a bad manager if they're telling you otherwise, perhaps. You know what I'm saying? So then, in order to me knowing that, I don't want to X myself out of the game. So I have to still be reasonable. So that's why the grind don't stop, man, because I'm working for free half of the time and I'm all I got. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So you get some people who just some real gangsters out here who will just be too real to say, not gonna say too real, they're in too good of a position in their hearts to do it. But I don't deter anybody. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you need me, holler at me. Now, that being said, this grown man business. So I'm going to be doing this, and I don't put no whack-ass verses on nobody's shit. So if I don't do your shit, it's not because you couldn't afford me, and I'm not going to turn around and try to charge you out the ass. It's just that it's not even just this whack. It's get your things in order. That just means it's not an open floodgate. This is not the announcement. Anybody who wants an Alan Wayne verse, no. What I'm saying is active people who
come at
grind,
me, but be quality.
People who are grinding just as much. Who's coming? The people who I'm doing this for, I believe in evenly. You know what I'm saying? And if I was, and I'm honored that they think I'm in a position to be somebody feature worthy, and I believe that one day somebody's gonna be coming to them in the same light. You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad to do it in that case. So on a case per case basis, hometown is nothing, and it's been like that. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
But and that's like I said, this might be the first time it's had an opportunity to say it out loud, but it's not an announcement. It's a mentality. You know what I'm saying? And the more it's been like that, the more and more I notice that people are coming like, yo, and then I'm taking it back because, I'm really me all day. I don't see anything differently. I don't know how the world looks at me, but I know. I know I
None
ain't
of us
shit.
do, right? Wouldn't it be nice to know what other people really think about you?
I know I ain't shit. But for somebody to be like, yeah, man, we got the Alan Wayne feature, and I know what that means when they say it like that. For me to mean that, even, you know what I'm saying? They put me in a position to mean that. How much that cost? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You can't really put a price on that shit. So they pay me more than they know. You know, so that's one thing. Like I can't. It's one thing. If I was busting my ass like this, and there was no like. Don't get me wrong, like I'm not waking up to 100,000 likes every single day or no shit like that. But for every single day, somebody to give a fuck about this, you know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck if it was just one.
Yeah.
You know, like I see a lot of those, and I don't think, and it's not me. I don't want to say this is a hater on the people who are like, in the locals not people not showing no well. Who is? Because if even just one humanoid woke up out of their own day with all their pre-ordered stress in life situations and said, the sound that came out of that guy's voice that one time is cool, then goddamn it, you know what I'm saying? Jump for joy out your window because nobody owes you a goddamn thing.
Yeah, it is cool.
You know what I'm saying?
That kind of shit. Let me use I gotta pee.
Oh, it's cool. Just magic. You can probably push pause. They won't even know you pause.
I'll do something similar to that. But yeah, we'll be right back. All right, we're back.
Nice.
And I remembered my story because you were just talking about how cool it is if someone that day just happens to listen to your shit. And I had something really cool happen to me. So I think it was 2 weeks ago. I went to Vegas, and I went up to the airport, but beforehand I was pretty early, wanted to get a bite to eat, so I went to Outback. And I'm just sitting at the bar, and the bartender, I interacted with the bartender a few times, and then he goes to me, he goes, "Are you that Neanderthal guy?"
Man.
I was like, "No." I was like, "Yeah, I am." What? Well, it just threw me. I was like, "What the fuck?" This dude way up in Zona Rosa is going, "Hey, are you that Neanderthal guy?" I was like, "Yeah." How did you find, I was like, "How did you find me?" He's like, "Oh man." He goes, "I don't know. I don't remember." He goes, "I've been listening to you since the beginning."
See?
I was like, damn, I have no, and then it just hit me. I was like, holy shit, that's really fucking weird that just some random dude, I don't know who, I've never seen, I don't know anything, just a complete stranger, and it was just like, whoa.
Man.
Whoa. And then it just gave me a realization. Like, I have no idea who's listening to this. I see my little Instagram following, and I have always the same, like, I don't know, rally crowd, my people that are always liking and sharing and all that stuff. But just to have, like, just random people be like, whoa.
I'm glad that you told that story. In the midst of the weird stuff that I look at on YouTube, sometimes something more normal pops up, you know what I'm saying, and more to do with music or some shit like that. So I have no idea who this person was. But he was, I don't know what kind of mode I was in that I kept him playing, but he was real black and motivational, you know what I'm saying? One of those, what are you doing with your life kind of dude, but he was industry. I could tell he was believable. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can tell that the people who he said he knew him because he wasn't saying it like that. You know, he kind of was, but, you can just tell. It was real. But he was saying how people are getting so hung up on those numbers that you see on, like, Instagram and YouTube. He says, I've seen it knock people off of their real hustles. He's like, man, I had to tell this guy, like, because he's like, I can't get over this many followers. I never get this much. He was like, dude, we're talking to you. I'm here at your show. Like, these are real people who came here. He's like, this is the package show that I've been to, but this shit was lit. This was a dope ass show. It's like, the receipts come in real life. Those likes and shit are not your receipts. You know what I'm saying? There's not a like or a comment that would match that emotion, I bet, when that guy said that at Outback. And I
it blew me away.
And I you can correct me if I'm wrong. There's a classmate of yours that you didn't love or hate, just a classmate. You know, somebody who you would have if you saw him in a grocery store and you guys were in the same aisle, you guys would talk for a second, keep it moving. You know, now if that guy comes to you and says, hey, that last episode of Neanderthal, that was pretty good. Even if you didn't know he watched your show, you would still be pretty satisfied. Like, oh, well, that's nice. I bet you that still wouldn't feel as good as that Perfect Stranger did. Now, I take that a step further. Fuck a Perfect Stranger or even a high and by associate from school. Me, I'm the guy who's supposed to support you. I have these guys on my show and they won't watch it. You don't say this, but this is equivalent to what people could say. Me, the rapper. I got these guys featured on my album and they don't even share my shit. I could say something like that. Now, let me come to you before this episode and I pull up. And I told you, I watched the episode of the whatchamacallit and that. It almost didn't even register that I said that I watched the episode. Maybe it did.
Oh, it did.
But if it didn't, though, it shouldn't have hit you. If it did, it sure didn't take you back like that. Wait a minute, you watched that last episode?
It did in my head. I know. Yeah, but yeah, I hear you.
It did not. You're
right.
You were containable.
Yeah.
All right, and I guarantee you, and this is your. If your lady of the day, you know what I'm saying? I don't like to say shit because I don't know everybody's situations. If your lady thing came and said, that was a great episode last night, baby, you'd be like, thanks, babe. And then she could get on your nerves even a few minutes later. I say that all to say this. The support that you even think that you're thirsting for, that person who's like the local this or friends and family not even supposed to, they're supposed to, trust me. You're not. The dream has a dream of its own. That thing that you want to do, that rapper that you want to be, that rapper energy is just as real as you are right now. That successful version, that's the energy. That successful energy is real right now. That successful energy doesn't give a fuck about your classmates liking you. Your successful energy gets fed when that perfect stranger off of your grind acknowledges you. So you just need to get in line with the successful version of yourself, because the local version of yourself will have a whole lot of support from your mama and them, and nobody else will give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? And that'll keep you think you're angry now, it'll keep you in a place of real fucked upness, because you'll have nothing to complain about. You can't complain about that person not supporting you because they keep buying your shit. And you can't complain about your job because you're not doing enough to try to reach those other people that can pull you out of there, because you already aimed at your target rate. I mean, your target success point. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes step back. Perspective is everything. And step back and say, why aren't this support coming? Well, because there might be bigger support waiting on you. You know what I'm saying? Be thankful for those things for real. And you can't be thankful in that arrogant I told you so way. Wait for those other people to come back around as validation, as the mirror to what success looks like.
Okay.
And don't be bitter at that. Be great. You know, when you stop using things as expectations and use them as collective data, it changes the game. And once the game becomes a game, there's rules to a game. And once you know the rules, you can play. And once you can play, you're in the game. A lot of people out here don't even realize that it's a game and there's rules to play it.
I know. I'm still trying to figure out the rules.
Well, I think you're doing a lot better than you think you are. Ask the guy at the Longhorn Steak. You know what I'm saying? Real shit.
Yeah.
Real life receipts, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That kind of you know how that happened. And it's not, you didn't get lucky, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That was not that one episode that did it. He's been watching from day one.
You're right.
And you don't know what day one really means to him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
he might not even really be from day one.
Yeah.
But he might be. Listen, I got day ones who really, really mean it. Day ones. And it hits just the same.
Yeah.
And I had been rapping for long before the demonstration too.
Oh,
let alone the demonstration, let alone a lot of shit, let alone the Tech 9 features that they heard. You know? But upon discovery, hey, right on. It's day one for you. You know, as long as you don't try to claim this Christopher Columbus, we're good. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's where And that's, but in this game, you will run into Christopher Columbus, who will say that they discovered your whole ass when you've been out here for life. You know what I'm saying? So watch out for that too, because he's on his way. Once somebody knows you, somebody starts taking credit for why. You know what I'm saying? I can think of a couple people. You know what I mean? So you watch out too.
Yeah, I'm easily suckered, but I realize it quick. Like you can sucker me pretty easily. Like, you know, I'm kind of naive because I think everybody's out for everyone's. I don't know. I just give people a lot of credit, and I have a lot of positivity and just a positive outlook on things. So I feel like people are always out to be more altruistic than they really are. But then when I realize that shit ain't real with them, then shit, you know how it is. I'll fucking drop them. I'm done with you. I'm done with you.
Thin line between opportunity and opportunistic people, man.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you know me, I'll let you dangle. And the thing about it is, when you let them dangle friendly, cordially, with a genuine root, you know what I'm saying? That's when you letting God them handle your lightweights for you, and there's nothing like it, man. Mm-hmm. Because what it does is it doesn't get in the way of your progression. You know, all debts will be settled. You know what I'm saying? So as long as you stay on the good leg of the race, if you would, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We got some shit right now that we'll talk about it eventually, and you're gonna really, it's the cupcake, you know what I'm saying? But trust me, the high road right now is really, 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 really hard for me to take, and you have no idea. And if I told you right now, you would be like, oh shit, let's do this episode live really quick right now. But I'm not even, you know what I'm saying? I can't, you know, they would cheapen everything that I stand for right now. You know,
taking the high road.
Hell yeah.
I've recently been trying to take the high road more often than not, pertaining to certain life situations and people in my life, and it's not easy.
No,
it's not easy. It's
a slow strangling of the ego. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Especially, it's hard to let the ego die when the ego has a good point this time. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's the real test, though.
I got a problem with my ego, Alan Wayne.
Yeah.
I will admit that right now. I know that I have an issue with it. Like I would think anybody would describe me as an egomaniac or anything like that, but I do, you know.
That's why you let people in easy.
Okay.
Because you're easy in.
Yeah.
All I got to do is compliment you. Thinking they got you. See? Like I got you.
Yeah, got me.
I was playing. But no, man. Everybody, the guy who says that that's not his struggle is either in denial or just doesn't really know what the ego really is. A lot of people, when you say that word, ego equals chest out machismo,
right,
versus just the layer of your, you know, conscious build up that everybody has. Everybody has that, you know, layer of human selfness, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, like a conscious control.
Yeah, it's
like I need to have full. I don't know.
And the thing about it is, that's its job, if you would. But it's
taking over. It needs someone to kick its ass to the side.
This is what it is. I'm
telling you, a new boss.
Your ego is that boss. That boss that, you know, give them a little bit of control, give them a little bit of power, and wow, that boss is a terrible boss.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's your ego. It's the boss with a power trip.
Right.
You know, and it's even, I think Emerson or somebody, one of those profound dudes said the ego is a wonderful tool, but a terrible master, or something like that. Something to that effect. But basically, yeah, you got to put it in its place. Your ego's there to warn you the danger is on the horizon. The ego always thinks danger is on the horizon. You know what I'm saying? It also is the portion of you that feels flattery. You know, the portion of you who observes the flattering thing doesn't get flattered. It's the observer. It gets flattered, you know what I'm saying? It also gets defensive, you know. The observer of that defensive situation doesn't feel anything, and you need to just be the observer versus the feeling, because you are not your feelings, you know what I'm saying? That's the hard thing but to master that, life changes. But there's layers to that. I honestly can say that applying that has made a big difference in me being upwardly mobile in life, period. But the gag is, once you improve on something, it makes it stand out in other places where you thought you didn't even do such a thing. And then you really see where the problem lies at. You know what I'm saying? So you clean, it's like one of those things, like in the middle of cleaning up your room, there's a portion of it in the middle of it where the room was way messier than it was even when you started. And that's kind of where you get on this journey sometimes. And that's where a lot of people say, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? And I've just elected on myself to just ignore the mess for the time being and keep it moving. You know what I'm saying?
And that mess gets bigger, and you're used to seeing it there, and you just let it be and let it get bigger sometimes.
Yep. Or you can ignore it and keep on focusing on what you're doing and just keep cleaning up.
Cleaning up everything but that spot?
Well, eventually that spot's going to be clean.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
It's
an illusion.
If you work hard enough at it.
It's only out there for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
You had to move it out the way to get the drawer clean out in the first place.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? So now you're not confused with the mess. It just got added to the pile of mess. But you could actually cleaned up. You know what I'm saying? You just can't let the mess overwhelm you. The mess is an illusion. You're really just cleaning up.
Life is an illusion.
Mm-hmm. And the gag is, we got control over that illusion. Just got to know that and apply rules accordingly, man. There's a book that you should read. I can't say it online. I can't say it out loud because I was told not to.
Okay.
Okay. I feel like this book is one of those books where, you know, I felt like, as far as this book, I don't feel like I didn't find this book. This book found me. So I don't want to go shouting it out because I think it's sloppy and it's not for everybody, but I believe it might be for you.
Okay.
So, you know what I'm saying? I'll tell you about it.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, man.
Off air.
Yeah. And people are going to hit me up and ask me about it. What book was he talking about?
Don't ask him. Don't ask him. He's not going to tell you. This is my little nugget, people. Don't be selfish. This is mine. Let me be selfish. This is my show, damn it. And this is what I'm taking from it.
Mm-hmm. Somebody's going to hit me up, and if she's cute enough, I'm going to tell her something. Probably won't be the real book, but she'll never know.
She's a catfish. Don't fall for her.
That's why I'm going to tell her the wrong book. Hey, you know, and this is another unpractical fear that I have, but it's made life a lot easier and safer. I assume everybody's catfishing me. I don't believe any of the groupies. Not one of them. That's not really you. So
I believe you, groupies. Hit me up at neandertalkpodcast@gmail.com. Slide in these DMs. I believe in you.
Yeah. Keep sliding my DMs, please. I believe it's good for the algorithm. It makes it look like I'm popping. So don't stop. Just don't be offended when I don't, you know, actively engage with the thirst, because it's not you. Trust me, it's not you. I just don't believe it's you.
I do believe it's you. So when he's not giving you the time of day, hit me up. Holla at your boy. I got you, ladies.
How do you know it's them?
Don't worry. I'll figure that out when I have to. You know, I cross that bridge when I need to. You hear me?
Okay.
I'm going to feed that ego pretending it's that thoughty thought. And then I'm going to be like, hey, girl, we need to FaceTime and shit.
I can't take the chance of that whole time leading up to the, you know, me taking the bait, if you would.
Yeah.
That bait was really dangling bait the whole time. You know what I'm saying? I just can't. I can't. You know, really, I can't. You might be able to.
I can. I'm going to swing at every pitch.
You know why? Because you're a podcast guy. So you come back with a great story to tell. You come back like, dude, it's funny.
I don't think I have any of my stories on here.
No, but I'm saying you
ladies
can.
are protected.
You can, though. Like, let's just say you got...
I'm a gentleman.
You got catfish. I see what you're doing there. Just say you got catfish by just, you know, a whole man. You know what I'm saying? not a
nuclear catfish. Sure.
Not
This
not a
dude
trans
got
sexual
me.
that's like
This a
that,
dude.
man,
This is
dude just
Bill.
on here. You know what I'm saying? Got you. You can come on here and the name of the episode could be Bill Got Me. It'll be funny. People, your game followers. If Bill gets me and Bill goes online and lets the world know Bill got me, then I'm done. You know what I'm saying? It's been people, poor Chingy. Chingy didn't even really get catfish. Somebody came out and said they catfished him and didn't even do it. He had nothing to do with it. And there goes his career because somebody made something up that wasn't even almost true. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, look, this is all I got. Like I said, I'm not. If I had some kind of big family inheritance or something, and I was out here playing with money, or if I was just in a more different situation, then maybe I can afford to let people. I can entertain the DM jumping a little bit. I can't because one false move and I need every feature call that I get. You know what I'm saying? So fuck that. Even I'm not. It's not worth it, bro. I'll wait until they can show up, and even then, I'm not sure. You know what I'm saying? I need birth certificates, the original one, the print.
Yeah. Listen, you got to be safe this day and age.
Man,
Not me. I'm a roll of dice.
yeah, man.
I'm a dice rolling fool degenerate.
You going to Vegas tonight?
Going to Vegas tonight
Night.
again. Oh my gosh, what's wrong
True
with
story.
me?
Man.
True story.
That's dude. You're the realest of the podcasters. You know, a lot of people might have said that shit. You got receipts real time. Who says that and then leaves for Vegas? You know what I'm saying? That's why you're the best, man. I'm telling you. Fuck all the award shows, bro. You don't need them.
Oh yeah, did you see me bitching about the KC People's Choice Awards?
No, I didn't.
Okay, I took it all. I took it down. I was salty for a minute and posted a little story for about an hour or two. That they hit me up.
They did.
Oh yeah, they didn't like my post. Like, oh yeah, because you ain't in it. I just said some shit like, look at this sad sack of nominees. Like none of them are gonna be around except for one or two of them. And they're like, yeah, that's just because you ain't on it. It's like, yeah, fuck off.
The actual KC Awards, brand.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe they really responded. You must have said some fucked up shit.
It wasn't that fucked up. I just said I don't remember what it was, but I just threw a little. I don't know. I was mad. I was bummed. I don't know. I'd like to get nominated, but I don't think they nominate white people. I don't know.
See, now I don't know how the game goes. I've always had assumptions because I've never campaigned or anything. This is the first.
I didn't campaign hard.
This is the first year, and if it happened last year, you know what I'm saying, it may have happened once. So I don't want to discredit somebody like, man, I said it in what, so if somebody said it before years previously, it didn't hit the same because this year there was several people who was like, yo, do you want me to nominate you for this? Or, yo, by the way, I nominated you for that, but I didn't. I was like, I appreciate it, but I'm not going to be campaigning for it or anything. Right. So if there's somebody else that you're going to vote for who really is, you know what I'm saying, I wouldn't feel a certain kind of way. Like if you're asking because you were going to vote for somebody else, please do, because I'm not going to win, and I'm not going to try to. Mm-hmm. And I'm not hating on it. It's just that I know I'm not going to. I way too much shit on my plate to try to do that. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, I think it's just really just not on my register. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm.
There's no need for it. I mean, and I'm not shitting on that show. Like I said, I did want to get nominated on it just because it doesn't matter. But this is only like their third year. It's not like I don't think it's that big of a deal. The one I care about is the pitch. That's the one I campaign and go hard for. Well, that's the one that's near and dear to my heart.
I don't know like how you're supposed to go about those things. I don't know if you're supposed to be like, apparently you can like say, hey, put your name on it. I really don't know. I don't know if you put your name on a ballot. I don't really know how the whole process of it goes. Mm-hmm. But knowing that there's a way that somebody else could have just put my name on there without me asking for it to be on there, and the fact that somebody did ask that was one of those. It's very similar. I don't story jack, but it's very similar to the Outback thing.
Yeah.
Just like, wow, really? You know what I'm saying? Because it's one thing when one person asked, then a couple of people, then there's always somebody who you didn't even expect. Like, I didn't even know you would even be up on the awards. Nice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like this year I didn't know how many years they had even done it previously.
This is their third, yeah.
Right. So this year means the most to me because to me somebody asked me if I wanted, you know what I'm saying? So now I have a story about it at least. You know
Next
what I mean?
year, if you are so inclined, you could campaign for it and maybe get on the ballot. C-Dub's on the ballot.
Yeah, and he deserves to be. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like any award that has, if you want some credibility, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that you do because it can be, you know, whoever designs this, they might have their own. I don't know what their mission statement is. You know what I'm saying?
Mission statement is we're going to throw a party and you're going to give us a bunch of money to come see this party so we can make money off you. That's what I think it's about. But
well, to have an artist that's doing
get your money, dude.
365 songs in a 365-day year, and that's just, you know, what he had to do in order to, like, because anything else would have just been status quo for him. It's got to be included, you know what I'm saying? But there's no awards show that I'm gonna ever try to put my name in a ballot for. That being said, I want a Grammy still, you know what I'm saying? So I believe they start with other awards. So I would like to look up one day and see that a Pitch Weekly or something that I didn't necessarily root for, I might have been popular enough to name pop up on that. That would hit, you know what I'm saying?
It would be dope, yeah.
So I'm not going to act like my ego doesn't exist to the point to be tickled by that. However, I know myself well enough to know that it absolutely doesn't matter. It's the nominating itself and that one thing, and it's already happened this year. You know what I'm saying? So to me, it's already on to the next. It's already on to the Grammys. To me, energetically, it really just is. You know what I'm saying? So somebody will say you should have got a Grammy for that, and then I'll decide if I want to put more thought into that. You know what I mean? So
yeah. Actually, I was just a little salty, but I don't need their validation. I know I'm the hardest podcast in KC.
Yeah, they better ask that dude at Longhorn. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Hell yeah. I know I'm the best. I feel like I'm the best. Period. Right now, like I think no, for real. I just think I have a chance to.
That's where just so you know, when I say I'm the best podcaster in KC, I'm the hardest podcaster.
You get that from the rappers. Huh?
I get that from you guys.
Yeah, man.
That's where I got it from.
Yeah, man. And we're the best manifestators. I don't even know how to. We're the best manifestors on earth. That's why they really follow what we do, and they don't even realize it. You know what I'm saying? What was that? KRS-One.
But I am the best. I hear these other local ones. I am. Get out of here.
Listen, man. I'll give you the exclusives.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because like I say I'm a firm believer in the shit that I say. Like I say, that successful thing version of you is waiting on you to line up with it.
I'm gonna bend it over, baby.
That's what that namaste and shit really means.
Yeah.
That good in me sees that successful version of that person. That's the part that I pay attention to. I don't pay attention to that person that wants that local thing. So even when I say that, I give a disclaimer because I'm not even, no disrespect, I'm not even talking to you.
No, I feel you.
I'm talking to that big one, because the more people saw you like that, the more maybe you'll see yourself like that.
Yeah.
And that's all you have to do is see yourself like that, and then the world will fucking follow suit. It has no other choice but to. The subconscious brain can only give you that which it really believes.
Fuck yeah.
So you have to believe it. And how do you do that? It can be done, and that's all you need to know. Then figure it out, and then it's easiest. I say start with something small. Something small is not just your life's goal. Something that you can easily believe, and then boom, once that takes place, because it will, then motherfuckers will start quitting their jobs. You know what I'm saying?
I believe I can fly.
Just don't sing that song on the way out the door. You know what I'm saying? Because he's been canceled.
Not by me.
Yeah, cancel culture's fucked up, bro.
I ain't down with it. You can't cancel me, bitch.
It's just putting me in a. It really does put. Listen, man. I'm all I got. I cannot be kicked off of social media right now. It's fucked up. They've got me. I can't wait to be able to say some shit later on.
They got you for what? You can say it on my channel.
Yeah, no, I'm saying it right now. They got me by the balls, bro. They I don't even know what the fuck I might have said on my old Facebook page that got yanked for no reason, and they didn't give me my shit back. I had to start from scratch.
C-Dub had to start from scratch on Instagram. Fucking brutal to see what happens to people.
I know, man. Look, and it was the day before. It was the day I had just announced the demonstration to listening party. And on that first day, I had and I've never seen it with my eyes since. And I'm sure people are gonna laugh like, "Oh, that's it." It said over 101 interested are going. I said, "What the fuck? That's a big ass number." So we're gonna play the numbers game. That same night, my shit got blocked. It said we're investigating you, and it said something about me impersonating somebody I'm not, or some shit like that. I don't know what it was, but then it was
You
like,
got any ideas? What happened?
I you know, my wheels never quit spinning on that. You know what I'm saying? I
Is
had
anything pointing like I think it was this?
yeah, I got some suspicions, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's fucked up.
I got a suspicion about that too.
Yeah, but it was fucked up. But the gag about it was this.
What if our suspicion is the same?
Yeah, man, we probably are. But man, it was a gift in disguise. They had me verified or whatever that means on my old one. So since that was the case, I had to have my full government on there. I couldn't just be Alan Wayne. I had to be Alan Wayne Williams Jr. or some shit like that. Just no swag at all. You know what I'm saying? And I couldn't go in there and change it. Well, when they canceled me, I had to do something different. So I had to just be Alan Wayne finally, you know, and instead of having a bunch of garbage, because, you know, I had been carrying that same page since way before, like, you know, the dead version of me. You know, I did some serious cleaning up off of that page, dog. You know what I'm saying? Because that had the version of me that's long gone. You know, so it was almost maxed at followers, but not because of music, just because of time and shit like that. It had no rhyme or reason, to the point that I didn't use it much for the music side of shit. I only used Instagram, and my name started picking up. So Facebook had finally started to matter for the first time. So I hadn't never had thought to use the event spaces or anything. So I just finally did it, and that's when they canceled it. But on the rebuild, it's all quality followers. You know what I'm saying? So now I got
It's all about quality, not quantity.
Hell yeah! So now Facebook is honestly just as valuable, almost, as my Instagram.
Oh shit! Okay.
Almost.
Okay.
You know, my fan club, if there's such thing, the Alan Wayne's World, that's over on Instagram, and it's growing and growing and growing. It's not necessarily got that same energy on Facebook, but it still has merch selling, genuine, like, it's the word spreads on Facebook now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it was not before. So shout out to the hackers. And,
Shout out hackers. And well, how about on that note, where can people find you? Find your new album when it's coming out, all that good stuff.
Well, 10,000 Hours is going to be a worldwide release. It's not going to be exclusive to the website, AlanWaynesWorld.com. That's where you can get the demonstration 2 and a bunch of other content. That website has been under construction, but a full facelift is coming. Probably be complete in the next couple of weeks since the new album's coming.
Cool.
We got a rollout of some very interesting promo starting next week. This,
Okay.
It's
Excited.
yeah, man. It's like I have, as far as visual shit goes, you know, one love to the music videos, and we got a treatment of one that I'm pretty excited to shoot. I think we're gonna shoot that Anybody Home one, if that caught your ear or not, earlier in the mix of the album. But as far as these commercials, ads, or whatever the fuck we want to call these promos, this by far the most dynamic shit, you know, visually that I've shot. So I think it's gonna be the difference maker in the album. You know, we're putting out something. You know,
I'm excited, man. Can't wait for it to come out. Can't wait to see what you put out along with it.
Yeah, man.
Alan Wayne,
Thanks again, man.
thank you.
Yeah, we'll still have to make that other idea work when the sun is out and shit. You know what I'm saying? We'll figure it out, make it make sense. You know? What I mean?
We'll do something fun.
Hell yeah.
All right, well, that's it.
All right, man. And you Vegas safely, dog. And whatever happens in Vegas, bring it back to Neanderthal.
I'll
bro.
bring some of it back.
Yeah, not all of it.
Bye.